Hey guys, welcome to day 62 of New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year. New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year is an epic challenge that Laura and I tackled a couple of years ago. We tried to do 365 activities all around New Zealand in only 365 days. During this day, day 62, we decided to tackle one of the classic New Zealand walk. All around New Zealand, you will find some dock, which is Department of Conservation, little walk all around the place, and all absolutely fabulous. So this is Mangawhero Walk in the Ohakune town.
We park the camper van and find the beginning of the track, which is literally where we park the camper van, which is perfect.
We are on Mount Ruapehu doing the Mangawhero loop walk.
This is a loop walk. It takes about an hour and 15 minutes to complete, and it goes through the forest, follows the Mangawhero River, and then emerges back where you came, because that is the essence of a loop track.
But most importantly, the Mangawhero track is almost entirely covered by the canopy and all the native trees and bush and rocks and all of that. So despite the rain, we are still going to have a good time doing the track.
What is Mount Ruapehu famous for, Laura?
It is New Zealand's largest volcano, and it has 3 ski fields on it. Oh, it's like it's...
Yeah, it's a vine kind of like eating
hugging
the
it.
tree. No, I think it's just...
No, it's a baby tree and it's hugging its mum. This right here is a prime example of a baby tree hugging a mummy tree.
Where some really huge trees have fallen over, they've cut through the tree to put the path through it, and besides they've put a little wooden box that says a home for wetters. And wetters are these native insects that can grow to like massive sizes.
Welcome, all wetters. No wetters.
This track is a very easy track. There's not too many steep climbs or anything. The track itself is really well maintained, which is one of the awesome things about the hikes in New Zealand. Like, most of them are managed by the Department of Conservation, and they usually do a really incredible job in maintaining the tracks and making them easy for most people to use.
Ooh, it's bleeding.
Look how red is that tree.
Looks like wounds when you fall over and scratch your knee.
Yeah. That's really... I almost want to touch it.
It'll hurt it.
Huh. It's really cool.
So there is a lot of trees, a lot of shrubs, there is a lot of ferns also. All those beautiful circular ferns. Most of them are actually silver fern, which are the symbol of New Zealand. Almost every tree along the track is signposted with their name and a few of their characteristics, which is quite cool.
That is a pest trap.
What are they trapping?
They are trapping possums, because the possums destroy the native trees in New Zealand. So they attract the possums with an egg, and then
We're going through the forest, which is sort of reminding us of the enchanted track we did on Mount Taranaki. But the difference is this forest has much more variety of vegetation in here. It's just crazy. There's like huge trunks that are about the size of cars. I don't know if that's an over-exaggeration, but like the trunks are literally like huge width, and they sort of grow in sort of a upward spiral towards the sky, and they just tower above you, and you just feel so small underneath them. And they're all covered in green moss as well, And then next to them are all these tiny little trees, like little twigs and things, and looking so crazy, like the contrast between these huge trees and these small trees. And then there's also some trees that are dead, basically. The wood has been rotting so much that you can see like holes right through tree trunks, and that looks really bizarre.
And about halfway through the hike, we arrive at a road crossing.
We are currently doing the Mangawhero Forest Walk. We have 1.7 kilometers remaining for about 30 minutes total. I think we're going to do that pretty quickly. We're about halfway through right now. Up, letting the car pass.
Yeah.
Took us a good 4 minutes to let this car pass,
Yeah.
I guess. And right now, we are still on the Mangawhero Forest Walk, and we have 25 minutes left. So I think the next 25 minutes will take us about 30 seconds. So this is probably the shortest walk in New Zealand.
So keeping on going with the hike, there is a lot of mud on the floor since it has been raining quite a lot lately. But the good thing is that they always gravel a little bit the easier tracks and then let the forest take back over it. So it's never too muddy, it's always pretty practicable, which is quite good.
To be honest, the rest of this track is just much of the same, of this like beautiful forest, and we just take the time to, you know, enjoy it, but also power walk, because it's nice to like walk really fast through the forest sometimes. You're just like, oh yeah. We even see a girl that like runs past us because she's exercising, and the locals are pretty lucky here to have that as their like place to go out for a run.
But for us, it's now time to head on the road again. The views are amazing. I mean, you get some rolling green hills. They're all dotted of white dots of beautiful hairy sheep. There is some forest, there is some lengthy road, there is some ups and downs, and it's a blast to drive. It's actually an amazing road. Just the drive from Ohakune to Taihape is amazing to do, and it's definitely a must do in my book. So we arrive in Taihape for the night. Taihape is world famous in New Zealand for being the gumboot capital of New Zealand. Keep up with our adventures, because I may be driving a tank sometime soon if it's raining enough.
You think they're going to let us drive the tank?
No, Robin, don't think they're going to let us drive the tank.
Do you think they're going to let us fire from the tank?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Do you think we can get to drive the tank though?
If you ask really nicely, the man will say no, still.
Do you think they're going to let us drive the tank?
I'm bored of your questions.
Alright, so as you guys can see, those little walks are very well maintained. They're super easy to do, and they are also very well signposted. It's quite easy to find them. Usually you go to the local information center, or you go to nzpocketguide.com. That's www.nzpocketguide.com, which is our travel guide to New Zealand. It's totally free, so we're not plugging anything right here. And you'll be able to find a ton of walks to do wherever you are in New Zealand. Those walks are ranging from, you know, literally only about 15 minutes to some of them are multiple days. It's good for you guys to be able to pick the walk which is the right length for the time frame that you have, and to be able to enjoy some of the best New Zealand wilderness, even if it's for a walk which is that short. Mangawhero walk obviously isn't by any stretch of the mean, it's not like the longest walk that you can do. So looking a little bit at the comments that we were getting the first time we published this video, we got some comments from Anna Witter which are talking about the wetters. So the wetters are those really big insects that you saw in this video and also previous videos, and they are really kind of endemic to New Zealand. They're probably some of the largest insects that I've ever seen in my life, but they are wood eating, so they're never going to attack anyone, so there is no need to be scared. Obviously they're an insect, so they are kind of a creepy crawlers, and you know, it's kind of fun to kind of you know, play around with them or anything like that, but they are absolutely not dangerous to humans. That's really something that I want to put forward here. We like to respect all kind of animals, and you know, waitas are quite cool. There are also a lot of other work on in Ohakune, and we do have an article on NZ Pocket Guide for that, so you can definitely check that out. And if you do have some questions of your own, we do something quite cool every single week. So on Sundays in New Zealand, from 8 AM to 9 AM, we sit down on that couch just right here behind me, and we answer all your questions about traveling in New Zealand. So if you want to be part of that, there's a link in the description below that will give you the time and date of our next live session in your side of the world, which is quite cool. And also you can put your question in any comment section of any of our videos, and we usually put them up and then we answer them during our next live session. So if you can't make it, that's a good way to do it as well. If you did find this video useful, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching it. It does mean a lot to us, and have a lovely day. Thank you very much. Bye bye.